I think we all have a feeling that we're born with a completely blank canvas. But all of us, the size of our canvas, the colors that we have to work with, the brushes that we may or may not be given, those are things that are already mostly predetermined.
So often it is said of artists.
Things are good. I'm painting.
They express themselves through their art, and that's it. No words needed. Let the work do the talking. Let the art speak for them, or let others.
I've never asked my sister, like, well, what does this painting mean? Or, like, ever.
There's a connection between her art and her way of healing and dealing with some of our traumas that we've experienced in life.
It's true Yasmin Christopher could spend hours alone with her thoughts, immersed in her work, as if to tell the world, let me be, silent.
I almost look at each of her pieces and I can feel an entire story.
She's starting her next piece. It's personal.
I would like to meet the person that actually exists, that came out with a completely blank canvas.
This act of putting paint to canvas isn't enough for her to get it all out.
Completely redetermine what is going to be painted.
I'm talking about those images swirling in her head, those thoughts of the past, the pent-up feelings. I'm talking about her need to say it out loud, to say the words. Say it.
I don't owe him anything. It's taken me a long time to realize that.
It's her father she's talking about, Stephen Christopher.
No excuses for any of the horrible, horrible things that he did.
If Yasmin's life were a painting, and sister Sonia's too, what would those paintings look like?
Who gets to paint the picture?
The person holding the paintbrush, that's who.
He was holding the paintbrush, wasn't he?
Their father.
And what did he create?
Context always matters.
Yeah, he was creating heartache, abuse, and manipulation.
Anybody can take a paintbrush and splash some color.
Let me paint the picture. It's 1982. A 47-year-old American man living in Bangladesh, working as a United Nations interpreter, marries a Bengali girl. That's a 12-year-old in that wedding picture, Yasmin's mother.
I think he's a monster for sure.
What he did.
The things that he did were definitely monstrous. No doubt about it.
What Stephen Christopher did after he brought Yasmin,
Me and my sister Sonia.
their mom,
That's me and my mom, yeah.
and a half-dozen Bengali relatives
And this is on the farm.
to live on a farm in the tiny town of Oakville in Grays Harbor County.
We came to America. That's a dream that people have all over the world.
That promise of a better life.
This rich white guy is gonna save our family.
You were 4 years old,
Yeah,
and your sister was just
a baby, yeah.
And their aunt Cordisha was just 9 years old.
We came here and it was totally the opposite of what was promised to us.
When my family was found on the farm, the canvas started to be painted over.
Painting over ugly.
The legal definition of human trafficking is basically you're exploiting somebody through force, fraud, or coercion.
We were with our trafficker for quite a few years.
That's what you call him,
Yeah,
your trafficker.
yeah.
And she was like, I think that what happened to our family is actually called human trafficking.
A lot of abuse that happened on that farm to control us.
My dad definitely used force, fraud, or coercion.
I mean, we were enslaved in that farm. We could not leave.
One of my most vivid memories is when my uncle decided that he was going to try and check the mail.
There was to be no contact with the outside world.
And my dad found out that he had attempted to intercept the mail and made everybody stand in a big circle.
And he said, here's a shovel and start digging, because the next time you try to leave, that's where you're going to end up, is in your own grave.
Basically beat him almost to death with like a 6-foot stick.
He was almost dead.
He held the paintbrush with a firm grip.
Like, who is he?
To paint the picture he did, creating darkness, despair.
Use power and privilege to create abuse and trauma? Definitely.
The case was based on what happened to you. Mm-hmm. That's why he went to prison.
Correct.
Well, he raped her.
Severely raped and sexually abused.
Absolutely unforgivable.
Charged with first-degree and second-degree statutory rape, Stephen Christopher accepted a plea bargain, guilty on 2 counts of indecent liberties against 3 children on the farm.
And at that time, we were all over the newspaper, the story in this farm and the suicide.
The suicide.
This is my Aunt Runia.
How did you find her?
She hung herself.
Her and I were very, very close.
The suicide of Yasmin's 16-year-old Aunt Runia alerted Grays Harbor County authorities to the abuses.
I do actually talk to her all the time.
Her aunt is buried in a Queen Anne cemetery.
I feel really sad that she doesn't have a headstone.
Impossible to wipe those memories.
Someone who had such a huge impact on like so many lives has just kind of become dust with no marker.
So much heartache.
And abuse and manipulation.
It's really overwhelming.
Yasmin Christopher is creating beauty now. Her new work is taking shape.
My recent paintings have been a lot around the female form.
And I think that there's a lot of hidden meaning behind her artwork, usually women. It's healing, I believe.
Yasmin feels fortunate. She was spared of the sexual abuse.
I try to completely keep my head clear of him while I'm painting.
Her sister Sonia, spared as well.
I picture like the canvas that he was holding the paintbrush for in my head, and it's no longer his picture.
He got 4 years. He served, I think,
18 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have the paintbrush anymore.
Here we are 25 years later.
He lives in Eastern Washington.
Stephen Christopher is a level 3 sex offender.
He lives by himself out in this little cabin.
I reached out to him for an interview. He wrote back and said he'd agree on one condition, quote, provided Yasmin come with you.
Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
You want more rice?
Here we are 25 years later. Yasmin's aunt, Cordisha, gives talks about human trafficking. That's the focus of her life now.
She just stands up there and just starts talking about the whole thing.
You know, it's an ongoing process of healing and therapy still.
Yeah. It's a similar movement.
Sonia is in a good place too,
Like the community resources.
consumed with her work related to gender identity.
You've created your own canvas.
We all have.
Yasmin keeps adding to her body of work.
When you mix red and yellow, you get orange.
She delights in spending time with her brother Naeem and is committed to sharing her family's story to shine the light on human trafficking.
It really changed things to have a name for it. There was physical and sexual abuse both. Well, and emotional abuse.
The Seattle University law graduate works as the legislative aide to Washington State Senator Pramila Jayapal.
To overcome whatever barriers seem to have gotten in her way, I find to be incredibly impressive, yeah.
Yasmin is getting married this summer to her soulmate, Nathan.
I mean, obviously I'm honored that she said yes, and I get to be part of that painting, I guess, yeah.
The beauty of painting over a painting you don't like, that you detest, is knowing it won't be there anymore, knowing it's a different painting now, better.
What do you talk about when you look at the painting? Like, do you talk about what used to be there? No, you talk about what's there now.
Who controls the brush?
That brush is in the right hands now.
I feel like it's painting over him.
John Sharify,
It's just one of those stories that
King 5 News.
I felt just should be told.